And welcome back to another episode of On the Bench with Beaks. This is episode number 26. I am your host, Cody Beekman, and I am joined with Keith Sanders.
What's up?
Daniel Beatty.
Hey, guys.
And Ross Moormeyer.
Hello.
Well, welcome back to our semifinals episode. We've had an incredible first round of losses, wins. Some incredible stuff has happened. I mean, we've already had our first victim of the fallout of losing a series. Todd Reardon gets canned, and Mike Milbury batters women with his words. So today we're going to be talking about the semifinal matchups today, and let's get right into it with the Western Conference. All right, Our first series is Vegas Golden Knights and Vancouver. If you guys have listened before, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to go around the table and we're going to say how many games and why. So let's start it off with Keats.
I'll say Vegas in 4.
And why?
Because Vegas is way better than Vancouver. And the first game showed it.
Now now that we are talking about Vegas, I do have to bring up that incredible picture that Marc-Andre Fleury's agent posted on Twitter.
Sure.
Of a sword with the word DeBoer on it going through Marc-Andre Fleury's back. Anybody have any thoughts on that? Like that?
Gee, I wonder what that could mean.
Yeah, seriously, the symbolism. There's obviously no symbolism there.
No, not at all.
Well, his agent has a history of doing this, so it's interesting in that respect. And then also, Marc-Andre Fleury, we all like to believe, is a very gentlemanly type player.
Yeah.
And since the tweet came out, he went on record saying like, "Oh, me and Leonard are good friends, and everything's fine." And I asked my agent to take that down, and it's very hard to know how much Fleury had to do with that versus it being his agent, because his agent now has a convenient track record of doing it too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I want to just be like, Vegas is really good. They're trying to drum up some drama, and doesn't replace the fact the tweet went out there, but I like, what's the big deal? I know he wants to play, but Fleury's a team player, and that means doing the right thing, and he's already done this in his career. He won a cup, and then about 10 years later gave up the crease. I don't think he's too uncomfortable with the situation that he's in right now. So
with that, who goes and who stays?
Like, who wins the series and stuff? I mean, I have Vancouver in my bracket winning because I'm a Canucks fan, and I felt going into this series that it would be just a hard-fought battle up to 7 games type situation, and it's easy as a Canucks fan to be like, oh, let's give game 1 a pass because they came off a hard series and Vegas has had some rest, but Vegas is the better team. I think everyone's looking forward to Western Conference Finals against Colorado and Vegas already. So everyone seems to be looking past it. I love what the Canucks have been doing. I'll stick with them. I want them to win. I think they will win. I think it will take 7, but I think they're going to do it.
All right, Ross, Vegas and Canucks.
Vegas in 4. I'm saying, yeah.
And why?
They're deeper in the goaltender aspect. They're just deep all over. They have guys that make heads-up plays, can steal the puck, get Vancouver off their game in that sense. And, yeah, I mean, it was proven in their last series how much they just mopped the floor with them. I mean, you got Stone coming up with brilliant just poke checks and steals to pass and to having an assist on a goal on many occasions. He's always making room and space and looking up for the guy and getting a pass off for a shot too.
All right.
And then, yeah, you've got all your first, second, third, and fourth line guys chipping in where you need to.
You don't think Vegas is gonna falter just one game? You can't give my boys at least one?
No.
No. I don't know, man. It's just one of those
fair,
things.
they are that good. They're really rolling. Like, I don't know. What do you think, Cody?
Well, honestly, I give it Vegas in 6.
All right.
Vegas in 6. I mean, Vancouver is going to come back. You know, they'll probably steal a couple, but I just, with the whole young core of Vegas, it's did I say Vegas?
Yeah.
Vancouver. I mean, yeah, I'm on my game today. With the young core of Vancouver, I mean, it's great that they made it to the second round when, you know, there were questions of them not even making it to the playoffs this year. So, but I gotta say, you know, yeah, they'll steal a couple, but I think in the end, it's really gonna be Vegas's show. So, I mean, yeah, I know you want to live this fairy tale of, you know, like Rudy, you know, but I just don't know if that'll happen this year. All right, so next, obviously, we have Colorado versus Dallas. Keats?
That one's going to be, well, it's just kind of like Daniel. Got to root for your team, so I'll say Avs in 7.
Ooh, 7.
Yeah.
Even with all the injuries that just happened, I mean, you got Matt Calvert out, you've got Eric Johnson out, and Philip Grubauer out. You really, is that really what you're thinking here?
I mean, yeah, those are some more than top players out, but I mean, Francouz proved himself, right? So we got a good goalie in the back, and I think the rest of the team can kind of pull it together as well. We've done it in the regular season, you know. I think we can do it through playoffs too, as long as we, you know, keep our heads high and focus. But it's not going to be an easy ride. I mean, that first game proved it right there. You know, they swept Arizona, not even swept them, but, you know.
Fairly, though. It was like the
high
Broncos
score games. High score games, and I believe they were just like, we got a big dick in a way, and Dallas came in and were like, nope, not with us, boys. You're gonna have to really fucking play your top game. So I'll say I'm saying Avs in 7.
All right. Daniel?
I have the Avalanche winning the Cup this year, so of course I'm going all the way with them here too. They definitely got a little taken by surprise in the first game, but man, I think people are thinking it's going to go to 7 because Dallas is doing better than they thought versus Colorado doing worse than they thought. And let me explain that. There's some injuries like you're talking about, but those injuries are like the Avs have had injuries all year and to like more prominent players and done well.
This is nothing new to them, so
Yes.
You're basically saying.
However, what's a little bit surprising to me is how strong Dallas was in that game and how strong they're playing into this series when they're an older team. So I had Dallas winning this series, but then losing to Avalanche. I still think that's going to happen. I thought it would be over quicker, though. I thought it would be like 5 games, see you later. And I'd say that if I didn't see the game yesterday or the other day. So I'm just kind of surprised right now. I'm in a little bit of shock. Now I don't think they can rattle off 4 straight, but they're going to win this series. And now I think it's going to take 7.
It's going to be a battle.
Yeah.
Ross?
Well, I'm going to go with the Avs in 7 as well because, I mean, you still got guys that are, you got Jamie Benn on the front line. They picked up Joe Pavelski, Corey Perry. They had Andrew Cogliano. Those are some pretty decent veterans right there.
And before in last series, those guys didn't do much. They actually depended more on their depth.
Yep. So, but you've got those big bodies that are going to come and, get the greasy goals and stuff, but you've got those guys up in front of the net to make a screen, and then you've got all your other guys to, answer the bell and everything like that. You got a decent back end. You got Bishop and Khudobin.
Yeah, Bishop hasn't played yet, yo.
I thought he had played one game.
No, he has, he wasn't even dressed for that last game.
Oh, okay. Well, it's been Khudobin then, but...
Khudobin.
Dobby.
order some burritos from
Qdobin. But no, and then with EJ being out, I'm surprised also that Jamie Benn didn't get called for something. I thought that was a little bit targeted on his knee, and
it was a little suspect.
Yeah,
there were a couple calls in that last game.
But missing Calvert and EJ and Grubauer, as Keith said, we got Francouz, and he's been top notch this whole entire time that Grubauer's been out for the season. This is also, once again, as we talked about just now, nothing that the Avs are, it's not in foreign territory. They're quite familiar, and they're also used to having Ranton and McKinnon on and off, and you got Landon Scott that was out, and and they still depended on all the other third, fourth line guys to step up, and even their second line guys. So that's even on the back end too. They're not looking shabby, so it's going to be a hard fought series, but it'll be fun to watch.
So Avs in 7 as well.
Yes, sir.
Well, just watching the other night's game, it was interesting. I mean, it's clear that the Avs absolutely underestimated the playing power of the Dallas Stars. That's clear. Yeah. And unfortunately, the Avs often have a problem of playing down to teams to team skill level and stuff, and I saw a lot of that. I mean, there were a lot of that game was played down in the Avs defensive zone, and most of the time it looked like the Avs defensemen were running around with their heads cut off. I mean, Ryan Graves had a terrible game. I mean, you lose EJ on the back end as well, which is, well, I mean, he no matter what, he plays big minutes, and no matter how I feel about EJ, he is a very integral part of the Avalanche. And I mean, if the Avs are going to keep walking down this path, I'm going to say Stars in 6.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the Avs were on their heels. Dallas was dictating play almost all through that game. And I mean, if they don't change something quick, it's going to be the Stars in 6.
Wow. I mean, we'll see, I guess, because that's a man. I hope Grubauer's all right.
Well, that's the thing. No, they still haven't released anything on the injury.
No, but I mean, he was not putting any weight on that.
No, that didn't look
when
good.
He was coming off the ice.
Yeah, no. I mean, kind of figured he most likely out for rest of the season. Mainly just curious what the fuck happened, because no one fell on him. It's
totally
like he pulled
looks like
something.
A groin injury to me.
Like he pulled something.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I have faith in what the Avs can do, but I mean, if this series is going to look a lot like that first game, they have no chance.
Is that why you're in such a bad mood today? Because you've been brewing on this?
No. I mean, my anxiety is through the roof right now for this game coming up tonight. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just if the Avs continue to play down to play the Stars game, they're not going to get anywhere. They need to come out and start dictating the play. They need to get the speed game going, and they really need to be solid on the back end. And if they can't do that, this series will be over, and not in their favor.
Yeah, it's just so hard right now. You just need to get a couple games in to kind of so if we knock on wood, man, if we lose this one, then it's all right. You can start. I think my gears would start turning more maybe towards Cody's.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the playoffs are not the time to start waiting a few games to bring your game in. Sorry, I totally cut you off. Keep going.
No. I really had nothing else to say. I
mean, the Coyotes beat the Avalanche once.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, right, yeah.
So.
Well, and we've seen that to all the games that we've gone to Cody, that they do that more often than not sometimes, and it drives us up a fucking wall.
Yeah, it's frustrating. And, you know, I'm quoting my dad here. I'm just being a realist.
Wow.
You know, that's
From
just.
the oldie Phil.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying is that, you know, you don't have a lot of games to really get back into gear. And, I mean, obviously, you know, the Avs were playing incredible during the Arizona series. And, I mean, 2 back-to-back games with 14 goals, that's huge. But, I mean, the Dallas Stars are not the Arizona Coyotes, so you better start switching your game real fucking fast or you're going to be out of the bubble. That's all I got to say. All right, so now on to the East Coast. Here we go. So we've got Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Boston Bruins. What you got, Keats, and why?
I'm going to say Boston in 6. Why? I don't have a good reason. I just think Boston has more manpower. They got more bigger names, I suppose. I'm not saying Tampa Bay's no team to, you know, I don't know,
They're
man.
no slouch, man. They're number, you know.
I just think of like Marchand and like those dudes. I'm like
Marchand.
Marchand.
Maurice Richard.
The rat.
You guys know me. I'm real good with the names.
Oh, yeah.
I just think of dudes like them and watching them in like previous playoffs and when they play, they're just such aggressive dudes. They're just like a bunch of fucking hungry dogs. You know, they've been wanting this for so long, and I don't know, man. Like, Boston's just like so aggressive and
It's kind of like blood in the water kind of shit, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, they've won a lot of series in the past, like in the past 5 or 6 years that, you know, coming in, you probably didn't think they were going to win. You know?
Right. I just and I'll be honest, Cody, I'm sorry. I don't like Boston. Like they kind of remind me of like the old Red Wings.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I just like there's a lot of dickheads on that team.
And
is
licking.
The way I put it. Just like douchebags, cocky assholes. Sorry, Boston fans.
And licking.
Hey, you don't have to apologize. You're still picking
just,
them to win in 6.
Well, because I just know, like they're just that type, kind of like the Red Wings always
just
were.
that resilience.
They were just like over and over, you know. And it's just how I look at Boston right now.
Fair enough.
Take it for what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, after that, I'm really excited to hear what Daniel's going to say here.
Is it possible to pick Tampa in 3 games just because I hate Boston that much?
Definitely not after that last game.
He is not the Pastafarian.
I mean, like, yeah, I agree with Keats. It's just frustrating to see them be such a good, competent team year after year after year. And they're really good. But, you know, Tampa shed that monkey off their back by getting through Columbus. They've also had long, deep cup runs in previous years past, too. So
They've
I
also
like
had
this
really
series.
short
Yeah, they did.
cup runs.
Yeah, they did. But both of these teams have supposed to be, you know, to the cup finals or at this point. They were expected to be here. So you know, they could each easily win. That's, I think, because they're both so equal in a lot of ways. I think, like, it might come down to who gets hot on the stick or if the goalies can stand on their heads. But I believe in Halak. I've always thought he's a really good goalie. I still think he's a really good goalie. But I can't pick Boston. I'm taking Tampa Bay in 6. No, in 5, because there's only been one game, right? So,
Yeah.
Tampa in 5.
All right, so you're saying they're gonna win out from here, huh?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
All right, and Ross.
This one's a hard one because even Tampa, they're doing as well without Stamkos.
They're doing extremely well without Stamkos.
Wouldn't be a playoffs without Steve Stamkos missing games.
Well,
yeah,
that's true, but also you just miss seeing that stammer hammer from the top of the circle too.
yeah. Oh,
But,
yeah. I mean, everybody loves one of those.
But yeah, God, that's gonna be hard because Boston's also pretty deep. in the D and all of that, you got Chari, you got Torrey Krug, you got Martian.
Say Boston's
Krug.
pretty deep in the D.
Yes.
Yeah, they
Oh,
are.
you also said they had to get hot on the stick.
Yeah, it's 1-1.
Boom. But yeah, I mean,
Stick.
hot on the stick. But no, and you got Yaroslav Halak, you got you got Vasilevsky. God, it's hard. I'm gonna say Boston in 7. It's gonna be a hard fought series in that one too.
There will be blood. I've got a few things to say about this series, just real quick. I believe it all really falls on 3 players in Boston: Pasternak, Marchand, and Yaroslav Halak. Right now, everybody's saying it. Oh, Tuukka Rask opted out, and then can Yaro? That is the biggest thing. Is can Yaro handle the offensive power of Tampa Bay even without Stamkos? Because Braden Point is hot as shit right now. Yeah. That man just blew, like, he was the man in the series with Columbus. After him, game 1 scoring that 5 overtime game winner, that just set him ablaze. And obviously you've got Kucherov, and Victor Hedman's going off right now. He went off in the first game against these two. Victor Hedman with 2 goals, that's huge.
Anytime 2 goals from one guy. Sorry.
Well, no, it's fine, especially when we thought that Victor Hedman was going to miss out the whole entire rest of the off playoffs.
At least that first series for sure.
Yeah.
So it really does. And then on the offensive side, Marchand's been playing really well, and Pasternak did miss a game or 2. But if it's, Patrice Bergeron's going to produce for you no matter what. Yeah. You can already expect that. But Brad Marchand can find his way to really put a stamp on a game, or just completely fade into the into the ice, so to speak, and so can David Pasternak. So they need to stay strong if they have any hope in winning this game truly. And I think if they can do that, yeah, Bruins in 7. But if Tampa Bay can quell those 3, I could see Tampa in 5.
But yeah, it's such a hard. All these series are hard to pick because everybody's showing up and playing their top-notch hockey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
There was one day, I think, where there were 7 games and 6 of the 7 were decided by 1 goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My eyes were going cross, flipping between them back and forth. Which way did he go?
Keats, do you like this more than the top 5? Do you like the picking the
I think he fucking
I don't
hates it
know.
all.
Yeah.
Do you like this more than the top 5? This is kind
I'm
of a
just
thing that I
not
wanna know.
a real guru. I mentioned to you earlier, man. I've missed a lot of the games, man. Due to work, here and there. I always. Fuck, I don't even know if I could say this without getting in trouble. There's a laptop in the background, while I'm doing my job, screaming, a game. But, I don't get to, really, see it and, So, so it's harder for me to be this is who I'm picking and this is why. I'm just kind of... I'll hop on Google or whatever, and kind of read up a little bit here and there, see the scores and stuff, and then kind of think of something in my head, how I think it will go. So I'm jealous of you guys that get to watch every single game. But
you got the use of your body, so don't be too jealous. But hey, we've got one more game, obviously here. It's the New York Islanders and the Philadelphia Flyers.
So this one's interesting.
This one is extremely interesting.
I don't know why, but I'm sort of
you got a big old smile on your face.
let's be honest. Did anyone? Maybe you guys did, but did you guys imagine New York Islanders?
I did.
Did you?
I had this.
I didn't have Philadelphia in mind when I looked forward to looking at the
See,
playoffs.
my thing was like I thought there was a lot of people who are like, oh, Philly. I feel like there's a lot of people like Philly's going to take the cup this year.
Oh yeah,
it can happen.
Just like your dad.
They haven't.
My dad's one of them. Yes.
He's like number one in our bracket challenge right now.
As of now, too.
Yeah.
By the way, yes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But it's.
So he knows what's up, I guess.
I mean, I picked Washington
yeah.
Oh, that's disappointing.
But
well, in that series, I picked
yeah.
Washington
No, yeah.
over
the Islanders.
Correct. Yeah, I was like, no way. I was like, Washington's gonna take it.
well,
There's no way.
I did too,
And
but I
then-
thought
And now we have a fired coach. They're not playing anymore. It's crazy.
And it's just all this yeah, exactly, all this craziness going on. That's besides the point. But like, well, just the fact that guy right there,
Barry Trotz.
the cameras
Barry
can't
Trotz,
see it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that was probably one of the funniest things to watch. When the Islanders moved on, they had to go and shake hands.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's the old Washington's coach that won him the cup. Well,
Yeah.
he was
Won the
part
cup
of,
with him. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it was just like, I wonder how, I wonder how like the higher ups feel about this right now.
Oh God, I'm pretty sure that everybody in Washington's like, ah,
You
shit.
should have just given Barry Trotz the money he wanted. This
Well,
would have
yeah.
never happened.
Oh, that's the
That's
thing,
what they're
though.
thinking.
What I think is Barry. Barry's a very competitive guy. I think he's like, well, I want a team with this team. I know they're winners. I'm gonna move on to a different team and shape them into winners too.
Right.
I mean,
and I think
sure.
he kind of wanted to go to the Islanders too. So
There's only been 3 coaches in NHL history that have taken 3 different teams to the Stanley Cup Finals. So,
Well, he might be number 4.
yeah, because he did
it with Nashville,
Did he do it with
I think.
Nashville? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
But my point is, if he's chasing this, like, okay, I've done it with this, now on to the next challenge, that could be very true because there's not a lot of people that have been able to do that. And we've got Philly. We've got what's his nuts? Alain Vigneault,
yeah.
who's taking the Canucks, Rangers, and maybe Philly now to the finals. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
what's your choice?
So I feel like this one's gonna go into 7. I think this. Well, for the listeners, we're actually watching the first game as we speak, and New York Islanders are up 3-0, third period, 11 minutes 10 seconds left. So
No spoilers. or anything.
pretty clear here that who most likely will win this game.
well,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, don't put it past him. I mean, the Avs did come
I mean,
back and score
the-
3 goals within back in the day. I think they still hold the record for that.
I will to jump on it real quick. I'll say Islanders in 7,
Okay.
and the reason because I love Sergei Varlamov. I've always loved him.
Oh jeez.
That's fine.
I've never Varley's been always last episode. I've had beef with so many Avalanche goalies. They're kind of like, I love you, and then like 3 years down, I fucking hate you. And like Varley was never that goalie to me, and I just like him, man.
And
I
he's
just
playing
like
really
him.
well.
Yeah, and I'm super stoked for him, honestly. So
All right, Daniel.
Well, I've heard from a friend of mine who's a huge Islanders fan, John Hanover, that like the Islanders will either show up in a game or they just won't. They'll just completely not be there, and that did make sense when you looked at the box score of last series against Washington. They either were awesome or they weren't.
Yeah.
And right now they're awesome. I believe my friend John really well, so I think that there's going to be a couple of they aren't awesome games in here. I have Philly winning this series, like when I was filling out my bracket. I love the way Philly's playing. I love the way Hart's playing in net. I love the way Vigneault has them speeding into the zone all the time. I think it's going to be an amazing series. I think this is my favorite series to watch. And so I like the Islanders now, like a lot. But it's gonna be it's a 7-game series. I think that's for sure. And then
That's what people tell me. Yes.
no, like this will be a 7-game series.
Okay.
I heard it through the grapevine.
I hope I don't feel this.
And
Only one.
And I'm gonna go with the Islanders now, even though my bracket doesn't say it. I like the Islanders in 7.
I can't remember what my bracket says.
I know. I picked Tampa Bay, but I'm thinking Boston, and I mean obviously I picked Colorado, but well, you've heard my reasoning. Anyways, so Ross, what do you think?
Well, I'm kind of with Keats. Varley, he's never had a bad taste in my mouth with him. It just sucks because he's never really had a good defensive core in front of him. He was injured more often than not later on. When he wasn't, oh God, he'd just stand on his head. He'd play lights out most of the time. So I'm kind of going for our boy from Colorado, Varley. I've always had a little soft spot for the Islanders in my heart on the East Coast. Yeah, but
Little chub for the Islanders.
Little chub for the Islanders. But I mean both teams are.
Little Coney Island hot dog.
Oh my God. I'm rubbing zipper with my Coney Island hot dog. But
Wow.
yeah. But I could see it just being a 7-game series because I mean. You've got the Flyers, and they're playing top-notch. Hart's standing on his head. Everybody's stepping up on the Flyers. The Islanders, same thing. But I do agree with Daniel. It's either they're on it or they're off it. So, but I'm still taking the Islanders in 7 games because when they can put the biscuit in the basket, yeah, they light that net
Give
up.
them a tisket and a tasket.
There you go.
And they'll send him home in caskets.
Oh God!
Oh, hey, it'll work. Judges.
The next greatest,
I'll
the
give it
next
to 'em.
semi-greatest white rapper.
All right, what do you got, Cody?
See, this is the thing that I'm thinking about. I mean, Philadelphia. You know, they're in the semifinals now, but honestly, they got so lucky with playing with Montreal. They got so lucky with that. I mean, Chicago's in the same spot, but I mean, if you look at Chicago and Montreal, they had more of a right to be there than Montreal did this year.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, and I mean, Montreal gave them a good like old college try, if you will, and I mean, they made it interesting. That's for damn sure. And I mean, good on them for taking down Pittsburgh in the qualifying round. I didn't even think that would have happened.
No,
but
that was an exciting series. I loved watching that.
that was great and good for them, and maybe management and Claude Julien have a safe recovery, by the way, from the heart stuff. Absolutely. But maybe, Claude and, Marc Bergevin got to look at some guys that they probably wouldn't have been able to look at before that. So,
Yeah, Suzuki had a
maybe,
huge coming out.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, playing in the playoffs for him, that's going to be huge for him. And, I mean, obviously, Max Domi, that's going to be great learning for him. And so, they might get a better idea of, the proper kind of rebuild. But, I mean, Philly and Montreal, obviously Philly was moving on, but I just do not see Philly beating the New York Islanders. I've said it a million times, and I'll say it one more fucking time. The New York Islanders have just such a fucking stout defense. It's like it. I mean, you don't have the best guys. I mean, Nick Leddy and Boychuk's obviously leading the charge, but I mean that Ryan Pollock and Pelech, they've got something there, and I mean, Barry Trotz has always been a very very defensive coach. Very always relies heavily on responsible defense, and I mean, Matt Barzal, Josh Bailey, and I mean, Anders Schlee's been fucking incredible.
And my Cizikas is hurting.
Yeah, well. Well, I mean, even so, even if he comes back, if he doesn't, I mean, they've got talent that works super well.
Oh yeah, I love that Cal Clutterbuck guy too, man.
Clutterfuck, yeah.
He plays a good role on that team.
Oh, he plays that role so incredibly so. Like he is that agitator guy, that just staunch fucking penalty killer that just pisses you off to your core. You know, when he used to play for Minnesota, he used to piss me the fuck off every time the Avs would play him. So, I mean, I'll tell you right now, yeah, it's definitely going to be the New York Islanders, no doubt. And probably, you know, honestly, after this first game, I might be... Oh, yeah, don't forget about the Devon Taves as well.
Oh, yeah.
As he pops up on the screen.
Well, that's what reminded me. Thank you, NBCSN, straight trademark.
Or as my dad likes to call him, Toes.
Moe's toes. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna say New York Islanders in 4.
Oh.
I
Wow.
can't.
Yes.
I can't even see Philly winning one in this one.
Damn.
You just put your balls on the table with that, didn't
So
you,
they're
bud?
gonna show
Yeah,
up.
those
4
tiny
straight
little
games.
balls.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say Islanders in 4, if not 5.
Wow. Great.
Absolutely. Well,
We're done.
yeah. Oh yeah. That was so hard.
Hyperventilating over here. Heart rate's like at 150.
So I do gotta tell. I do.
Start doing Lamaze over there.
It keeps. Anyways, I don't even think I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna move on. So over the past couple days, Ross and I, we had a visit from some of our really good friends, Lexi and Oggs.
Oh, yeah, that was a really enjoyable time.
Yeah, I mean, Ogg's been kind of sick lately and hasn't been able to be around people, but so they came over the other day. We had some beers with him, and it turns out that he never listened to the podcast.
No, he did not.
No,
He
so
did not.
And these people are friends?
I know.
and they're huge Avs fans.
Not
too.
anymore.
Oh, and
Yeah, for real.
Augie about flipped out and had an anxiety attack because Cody kept on going, well, you know if you listen to my podcast.
Well, we were talking hockey a whole bunch, and like he's like, "Oh, I didn't even know that." And every time you would be like, "Well, you would know if you listen to my podcast," and just fucking with him and all that. So like he just got so sick of it. He has agreed. In 2 weeks' time, he is going to take the first ever On the Bench with Beaks quiz on air.
Oh, well, that's nice. It's someone else to suffer for once.
Yeah. And we've worked it out to where, like, okay, so a little background information to him. He loves his hair. Loves his hair.
Loves it.
And
treats it.
And so he has agreed that if he doesn't get 10 out of 10, that he will let us shave his hair in whatever way that we want.
And then he pissed off Phil before
So is
he
it
left.
like long hair? Like
Oh, it's it's shortish hair, but it is flowing, and he made us. He made us all smell it.
okay.
He made us all smell his hair.
So
He made us all smell his hair, and you know
smelled
what?
like mahogany, fine leathers, and tobacco.
It fucking did smell.
No,
really
I'm
good,
serious.
I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I mute.
So
I'm-
what? Is my goal just to like make the hardest question ever?
Well, see, I thought I was gonna get kind of like take it easy on him.
No, we were going to take it easy on
Yeah,
him.
and then he's an Oklahoma State Pokies fan, and my
And I
dad
think he
is an
went there,
Ohio
too.
State. Yeah, he went there. He's an alumnus or whatever. And
Or so he says.
right before he left, he turns to my dad and he's like, "Ohio State University fucking sucks. OSU pokes."
Yeah.
So I'm like,
It's
"All
the
right,
real
you're
OSU.
because I'm an OSU.
You were
fan.
gonna be a gentleman about it until
I
you said
was,
that.
yeah, because I'm an Ohio State Buckeye fan too. So
To make it a little nerve wracking for him, and I don't know if he would have or not, but what you should have done would have been like, okay, so if you want to do this quiz. From the 1 through 25 episodes that have been already posted.
oh yeah,
Oh,
all
yeah.
of them.
Just questions about our
All of them.
episodes.
Exactly.
It is. That's
It
exactly
is.
it.
Oh, is that what
That's
it is?
exactly it. Oh yeah.
You're reading minds, Keats. You're
10
reading
questions.
minds.
He has to get them all correct all the way through the 25 episodes that we have
Or you're gonna hear.
had put out. And we will be testing him live. on the show in 2 weeks.
And giving him a haircut too.
So
or Phil will actually.
Are you making up the questions?
That's what I'm telling you, boys. We're all gonna make up the questions, and
I think we have a couple already. But
yeah, I've got a couple. I'm not gonna say them.
No, that'd be silly because he'd be listening. I guarantee.
Yeah. Oh
dude.
yeah. I'll tell you this: our
We
listens on
coming
like
for
every
your
one of our
head.
episodes has had an uptick ever since I talked to him.
So that's the new incentive. Eh?
So yeah.
Yeah.
Come on our show as a guest, but also we will quiz you.
Yeah.
And if you get any wrong, we'll shave your head.
Yeah. So
We
well,
love
By the
them.
way, we need guests for 3 weeks from now. So
Yeah. So hey, you want to be on our show? No. So yeah. That and the thing is, he put these stipulations down on it. So he has to get all 10 of them correct, or we get to shave his head in the most awful fucking thing you've ever seen in your life.
they'll make good TV, I guess.
Oh yeah. So in
Good
2
luck,
weeks'
bud.
time, please tune in to the first On the Bench with Beats quiz.
Yeah, the on the bench with Beaks challenge.
And oh my lord, it's gonna be fun. So, crack that open.
This episode is brought to you by My Bear Nation.
and that beer that was just opened. So yeah, I think we've covered everything, and we told you guys about the incredible quiz that's coming up. I'm very excited for
I'm
that.
tickled. I couldn't sleep that night. I had to
yeah,
work the next day.
I was laying in bed just thinking of all these questions that I could ask.
Same here.
Oh, it's gonna be great. So.
Here was I thinking like a mullet or something. You guys are thinking
no.
way worse.
Oh,
no.
God, no.
Now
yeah.
Phil's got involved with this after the OSU stuff. I'm just like, you know what? Dude, you better bite your tongue. That's the man that's giving you the haircut you're talking to right there.
Time to watch some reruns of Live PD.
Well, I'll tell you right now. So, Augie, do your homework, bud, because it's going to be interesting.
Really, really interesting. And it just won't end good for you.
No.
Not at all. We already have a good idea of what we're doing.
Oh,
We can't
boy.
say anything, though.
Oh, no. So, yeah. You guys want to send any shout-outs or anything to anybody before we end this transmission?
My Beer Nation, thank you so much for being a sponsor. Guys, please subscribe. Apple Podcast, YouTube, Spotify.
Overcast,
Leave us a
Castbox.
review.
Yeah.
Leave us a review.
Yeah,
tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like.
Yeah, just
Give
like
us-
Kajuki.
So we know.
You can also email us.
We don't know if you don't tell us. So
Join
Hey,
our
I
hat
want-
trick challenge. Win
Yeah.
the Andre Burakovsky signed picture of him.
Photo.
A photo of him lifting the cup.
Yeah, we're that hat trick challenge is easily something anyone can still join.
Oh, yeah.
That
It's not like the
leaderboard is
bracket.
not very out of reach for a rookie
No,
coming in today.
it's not.
No.
Yeah.
All you have to do is get a couple hat tricks and you're already
Yeah.
spanking me.
'Cause
So.
I don't want to be first. I mean, it's great to be first, but I don't want to win.
No,
this.
Yeah,
Oh, but-
it's you
guys.
and
yeah.
Tatsuwatsky right
Yeah,
now.
he's
Yeah.
just
Like
Bert.
he needs another something signed.
Yeah, like either of us do for that matter, but
Right.
him,
Well,
oh my god.
We give it to our listeners. We don't need anything else.
Yeah. I mean, well, somebody get on and fucking
Well,
win.
so I just want to say shout out to those people that have been playing the hat trick challenge, also that joined our bracket challenge. It's going really well. It's cool to see how the points have been stacking up now that we're past the first round.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it would be kind of cool to hear from a listener just to like see if they want to try to like maybe we can pick one of or two suggested questions from them to put in this quiz we're gonna do in 2
yeah,
weeks.
that'd be pretty-
neat.
that'd be
Yeah.
So,
kinda
Our
sweet.
active listeners,
Yeah.
not Augie.
so
Yeah.
No,
it's,
I don't know how that'll work. Oh, we might know. I don't know.
No,
We shouldn't do that.
Augie, you're not picking your questions. But,
Yeah, I was
and a
gonna
shout
say.
out to him. Good luck.
Yeah,
Study
good
up. bud.
luck. Yeah, you better study.
But yeah, shout out to everybody who keeps listening and anybody else who shares with us, talks with us, listens with us. So thank you to everybody. Thank you to Dog Nation. Thank you to My Beer Nation, as per usual, giving us these awesome hats that should be on the way here soon. So that's going to be dope. And actually, we got some pins coming too.
sweet. I
buy
can't
Some
wait
little
to write.
buttons. Some buttons. Yeah, that'll be pretty sweet. So
You'll buy now.
no, you buy now. So yeah, thank you to everybody, and have a lovely night. Watch some hockey, have fun, and crack open a beer.
We'll catch you on the next one.
See you guys.
Later, suckers.
See ya, V Horse.